Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. We're here to bring you the latest and greatest geeky news of the week. I am your host, Sean Hayes, and with me is my wonderful co-host, as always, Courtney Bowen.
Hey, everybody.
I'm going to turn that down a little bit because I think I might be getting feedback.
Oh, no.
We are, we're back. We've got a little bit of news this week.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff is bigger than others.
Yeah, just a little.
We're here. We're not sunken beneath the waves of all the storms
Nope.
that we get. There are no gorgons running about for folks that have been following the Wildermyth series that I just wrapped. Which has, been mimicking sort of real life with all the rain that we've been getting and all the storms that we've been getting.
No, thank you.
But no gorgon beasties, nobody's turning to stone. So that's all good. So that's it. Do we want to get right into our news?
Yes, I
Okay.
think so.
All right. Get ready. Here it comes. It's Quickfire News. All right, so this will also be our deep dive topic for this week.
Yes.
There's a new Switch model announced coming October 8th, the Switch OLED model. This will
I've been
feature
calling it the OLED.
What's that?
I've been calling it the OLED.
It's typically shortened to OLED.
Okay.
Just because it's easy to say, which tends to happen with
Fair.
acronyms. So this will feature a few quality of life improvements. It is not the Switch Pro, which, people were widely reporting that this would be the Switch Pro because of the OLED screen. So what this will feature, just to run down some of the stuff really quick, it's a slightly larger OLED screen, a wider kickstand in the back, better audio, and a built-in Ethernet port on the dock.
Yes.
And white Joy-Cons and a white base. That's it. Also, a price increase to $350. So,
yeah.
So coming out October 8th to coincide with the launch of Metroid Dread. And we will talk more about this in our deep dive for this week.
Yeah. Next up, Star Wars Visions is going to be a series of Japanese animated shorts from 7 different studios. Will be coming to Disney Plus on September 22nd. So that will be fun to see.
Yeah.
I wonder if that. Sean, do you know off the top of your head these will be canon, correct?
I don't know.
Okay. We shall wait and see then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next up, users will no longer be able to donate the entire cost of Humble Bundle purchases to charity. For those that don't know, Humble Bundle is a service that they work with various companies, typically related to games or creative endeavors, and they create packages and will sell them. And it's usually at like highly discounted rates in order to raise money for charities. So typically there was like a sliding scale on how much you want, like how much of the money you donated would go to Humble Bundle, how much would go to the developers, how much would go to charity. And like, apparently you could have it so that all of the money went to charity. So I don't know if there were just defaults that Humble Bundle would rely on to like fund itself and everything. So you won't be able to do that anymore. They are now going to take a minimum of 15 to 30% of the bundle cost for themselves. And then you'll be able, like past that, you'll be able to do a sliding scale for like developers, charity, and things like that. That is going into effect next week, I think.
Okay.
At least if it stays. There was a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
This is the alternative to what they initially pitched. So and there was a lot of pushback to that. So this is the solution they came up with. So if you're a
Right.
big supporter of Humble Bundle, you might want to be on the lookout for that.
Mhm. And finally, finally, Marvel's Black Widow has released this week, and it is reviewing very well. So after a global pandemic pushing it back and pushing it back, we
Hmm.
finally get our Black Widow movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and currently sitting at about 83% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm I'm excited for that one.
um, and we didn't have this in our. Oop, there goes Courtney. We didn't have this in our notes, but for fans that are, we cover pop culture stuff. So for fans that are, uh, or people that are fans of the Fast and the Furious franchise, Fast Nine's out. Um, Apparently, it went hard on making fun of itself as a franchise. So there's that. The general consensus is it's not a bad one, but it's not Tokyo Drift.
Fair.
Like it's
Fair.
not even close to Tokyo Drift. It's just not the worst one. So there you go.
I don't
All
know,
right.
I've just been seeing family memes everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. All right. That kind of wraps up our quick fire news. We didn't really have a lot. It's summer. Um, there's not really a lot coming out. Uh, we still haven't really gotten into big movie season because they haven't released yet. Uh, so that's what we got. So why don't we
Mhm.
go into our deep dive and we'll talk about this Switch OLED model.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so what this is is this is intended to be just sort of like how there was the Switch upgrade a couple years ago. Um,
Yep.
this is primarily for people that don't have a Switch yet. Because if you do have a Switch, especially if you have the upgraded model, as opposed to like me, where you have one of the original runs, um, there's not a whole lot to justify the hassle of transferring your data and paying, uh, you know, the price of the
Even
console
more.
plus $50 for
Mhm.
those improvements. That's it. It makes it a much more attractive option for people that are going to pick it up for the first time. One thing to note, it was specifically called out, there are no new like no new chips, no new processors or anything like that. So you're not getting any extra power out of the system. You're getting a
Yeah.
better screen
Yeah.
that is slightly bigger, uh, and the better audio options and everything. And if you really play online all that much and have issues, the built-in Ethernet port. Um,
Yes, I think that
yeah,
that's a really big thing. I my biggest question, so it's going to have a 7-inch screen, um, as opposed to the 6.2 on
yeah,
the originals upside down originals
yeah.
that we have now. My Joy-Cons, Joy-Cons that bring me so much joy in life, to be switched over to upgrade is my only question that I've been seeing.
Yeah, there's no
I
changes to the
believe so,
Joy-Cons. No changes to the
'cause that's
Joy-Cons.
that's what I've been looking at.
So, one thing
Okay.
to keep in mind,
That's what I've
remember,
been looking at because 'cause I'm like, the
screen
screen.
size is measured on the
Mhm.
diagonals. It's
Yes,
not 7 inches
yes, so
wide.
I know that
Yeah.
there's the little bits of black. It's really hard to see on the screen here, but there's the little bits of black on the
Yeah,
edges,
what
and
they're
so
doing is
basically
they're
this would go.
removing that extra border space to make the screen bigger, and that's typically what you
Yeah,
see. So, like,
basically it's because the screen ends, like, here,
yeah.
so basically they're going to the edge.
Yeah, they're going a
So,
lot
it's
closer to
not
the
going to
edge, and
be
you see that a lot,
wider.
like, OLED screens are typically used
Yeah.
in smartphones, where they've moved toward,
Mhm.
like, basically the whole front portion is a screen now. Um, like, the whole front side is edge to edge
Yeah,
screen.
I mean,
Yeah,
front the whole front,
yeah,
edge to edge, cool
or
pictures.
practically,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but, yeah, I mean, there's still some people that are holding out hope for a Switch Pro, so I think in terms of that
A lot of
is, you can't get chips.
Mhm.
There's no chips anywhere, and until there isn't a chip
And it
shortage, I don't think you're gonna see
isn't
any
that
console
because the
upgrades.
isn't that because crypto miners?
Yes and no.
Isn't that because of crypto miners?
So
See,
you can't
I
get
know there's a lot
GPUs
of
because of
other things that are
crypto mining.
causing that.
Um, so, uh, it's kind of because of that there's been a shortage, for chips for GPUs. Um, but it's just, like, it's also why there's been a lot of companies holding off on, like, new smartphones. Um, I mean, it's partially why there's been shortages with new Xboxes and PS5s, how they can't make them fast enough. Um, so
Yeah, because
yeah,
I don't ever remember, like, the PS4 Pro, like, all of this being such a everybody wants it. Um, I don't know. I'm actually really looking forward to the OLED. Joe and I have talked about upgrading, um, because I very much enjoy that the display is not a, like, big thing for me, but being able to have a kickstand that is bigger than that size, and it's gonna go across the entire
yeah,
way on the OLED, um, which is gonna be really nice. Yes, it will mean that I'll need a different style case. Get to that when I get to it.
yeah.
Um,
So for me, here's the other thing.
and being
So I
able
I'm
to have more
either
storage.
I'm either entirely playing docked, in which case the new
Mhm.
screen, the audio options, none of the kickstand, none of that stuff helps for that. Or exclusively handheld. So like the kickstand, I don't really care about at this like I'm glad that it's there for people that want it. Um like it might make tabletop playing of like an actual option. Um
I was to
but
say, I bring my Switch to work. So,
yeah.
for me to be able to bring my Switch to work and I don't play it docked, like, I'll just sit there with having it with the screen and Joy-Cons disconnected and just have, like, sit more casually with the Joy-Cons and playing, that's a big thing for me. That's something that really like, when I do bring it to work, I really like that ability,
Yeah.
um, and so for me, as somebody who plays on and does use the Switch options, let's say, um, I really am looking forward to the OLED. Also, like, yeah, especially the kickstand being all the way across is a really big draw for me. Very much like my Surface Pro, which also has the kickstand that goes all the way across. It feels very secure.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, the tiniest tap and it's going to go down. So I really like that. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think
the
another
white is
issue
cool
for
and all.
me
I
is
really don't care about the color of the Joy
I've
Cons.
been really hesitant to even upgrade to like the one with to the model with the longer battery life, just because of how much of a pain I've heard it is to transfer your data.
I've actually done some looking, and because again, like we've been talking about wanting to transfer this over. If you have the cloud backup with Nintendo, because we have the online subscription, um, if you have that set up, I've seen that it's actually not that much of a pain. I also have an SD card in mine, um, which can also make things easier. Um, so I've been seeing is it's not that big of an issue. Um, at the same time, like it is still a little bit of a process. to, like, re-download everything, um,
Yeah, well, and I
but
know there's some
Nintendo
like
does
Animal Crossing is
offer.
apparent have at least I don't know if it's changed now, but Animal Crossing was a nightmare
Mhm.
before, or that you
Yes,
just
that's the
couldn't.
other thing
You
that I've
couldn't
been seeing
transfer it
because I
because it was tied to the
remember.
system.
Yeah, because yeah, because I remember when Animal Crossing came out and there were people that wanted to upgrade their system to the pretty Animal Crossing one that you were saying that they couldn't because it was tied to the system. So, I don't have any games that are usually tied to the system. I have games that are tied to like, that I can do cloud storage backup,
Mhm.
um, my Nintendo Online account.
Yeah.
So, I think that that's the easiest way to do it. According to everything that I have been reading, I read up on some stuff while at work the other night, um, about how easy it is to transfer if you have a new system or if you have the new system or the
Mhm.
don't have the old system to transfer it over. Because I know stores like GameStop that do trade-in, they will usually offer a large trade-in bonus trading in to upgrade to the newest system. Um, so like they'll do like an extra $100 or something sometimes for certain systems towards the newest system. So I'm looking at wanting to trade in mine and my Joy-Cons though, because I have the old Joy-Cons that go with it. Um, but I've been wanting to trade those in instead of actually just buying a new one outright, which also would cut down on the cost a good amount on the cost towards getting the new
Right.
system. Um, so those are a few different things that I've been keeping into account because I am very, very, very interested in the OLED system. Um, and I really do like that. Not really worried that it's not going to have the 4K, uh, resolution that we'd been thinking will come with the Pro. Um,
Well,
Looking at this as
let me clarify. When we say "we," we're talking about,
well,
uh, likely so-called analysts and in quote unquote analysts and quote unquote
yes.
insiders who
Yes.
basically catch wind of a rumor and start some juicy gossip that gets picked up
Yeah.
by everyone.
Yeah. Yes, so it but any of that 4K output, stuff like that, like, I don't usually play docked. I usually play handheld, and these are handheld and in Switch style, so taking my Joy-Cons off. These are really big quality of life improvements for my style of play.
Yeah.
Um, and I really do like that it has the I might actually use it a little bit in docked mode if it had a port. There we go. Word. I got there.
Um, Here's
um
what I find interesting. Um, is ultimately this is an upgrade for the Switch Lite. Think about that.
okay, but this is the thing. Uh-huh.
Because
Yep.
all of these benefits are aside from the Ethernet port, are to benefit
Mhm.
the game when it's not being docked,
Yes.
right? So
And as you said, you mostly play docked versus I play in handheld and Switch
yeah.
style.
Well, what I mean is, so that means you are most benefiting from upgrading to this system if you have a Switch Lite and that's all you have. Essentially, like
Yeah.
because you now have three different SKUs. You have like standard Switch, uh, and then you've got Switch Lite, which is sort of your budget version that can only be done handheld mode. And now you have sort of
Yep.
the Lite Deluxe version, which is, yeah, we took the Switch Lite, we made it better, and now you can dock it. Yay. If you're
I
ignoring the fact that, like, the
I'm
standard
still
Switch already
not
has those capabilities.
yeah, I'm still not mad at this upgrade. As I said, I'm very much intrigued and wanting to do this upgrade because this is, as we said before, a lot of those quality of life improvements. And you're right, it is mostly for people who are playing undocked.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is going to replace production of the current Switch version, because that means that basically the Switch has gone up in price by $50, like, across the board.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm wondering as
but
well
then
because
also,
this
like, if
also,
they're
if
gonna
this
keep
is,
all the SKUs, then why?
I would imagine that it's going to stay Switch Lite and OLED, and OG switches are going to go and become obsolete. Is my guess on that. Yeah, because I just get double the onboard storage and you still have space for a SD
Oh, that's
card.
right, I forgot about the
You're
right, it's got more internal storage.
Mhm.
Um, so, I
Yes, it
mean,
has
so the thing
64
is,
gigs of storage instead of 32.
so I can understand from a business perspective why you would increase the price, like, if you have better components and stuff in there. Um,
Mhm,
if they're going to phase out the initial Switch system in favor of the OLED version, uh,
mhm.
my hope is that by the time they do that, they'll have a price drop so that the OLED version will be the same price as the standard version. If they're going to make it be the standard version that you can only that it's the only one available for the sort of
Okay, yep.
standard SKU, then it should be the standard price. That's just my thinking.
Yes.
Otherwise, like, I mean, I'm not mad that this version exists. Uh like, I wasn't a person
If this
that
is going to
thought
be a
I'm not a person that was
Mhm.
expecting a Switch Pro. Like, I'm not expecting one. Uh, and I think all the rumors are bunk. Um, but
Yeah. My
this isn't for me. So, I see
Mhm,
Joe's
yeah.
asking in the chat, when's the last time you saw a non-pro PS4? Uh, friend of the podcast, uh, Heather Topolsky has a non-pro PS4. Um, because it came, there was some game. Oh, it was Cyberpunk. Because that's what we were talking about. Because you can't get Cyberpunk for a non-pro PS4. Um, so
Mm.
I mean, I don't. So I don't. I don't know when the last time I saw any PlayStation being sold for sale because I haven't been anywhere. They probably have them at
I
GameStop.
think I knew GameStop still had them if they could keep them in stock.
Yeah,
Because, like, that's the big one is, like, can you keep it in stock?
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, and I'm also like, if if the OLED Switch replaces the standard SKU, right? And they just move production to everything being the OLED version and it becomes a standard one. My hope is that when that is formalized, that they drop the price to the standard price. And and if that
yeah.
because I don't think that's unreasonable if it takes 2 years. Um, but at this point, we might also be looking at a new console by then. So
Yeah.
because at that point, I think we're looking at 7 years in the Switch's life cycle. So that
I
would be
think
a point in
so.
which I think we would start to expect some either a new iteration or just an entirely new step. The
Yeah.
Super Switch. Nintendo really should go back to using, just
Yeah.
appending super in front of stuff.
Yes. So, for the record, most PlayStations are all sold out on GameStop entirely.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not seeing actually any regular PlayStations. Nope, there we go. There are some in your possibly you can check in your store for PlayStation 4 Slims, black 1 terabytes. They're going for 289.99 according to the GameStop app as of this exact moment.
Yeah.
But
And
they
I
are
mean
not being
and
able to
here's
be
the
sold
it's,
online. They are only in stores.
yeah. Um,
So,
Also,
because so many of them are all out.
I don't know if comparing the OLED situation to the Pro situation is apt because there is no performance upgrade with the OLED,
Yeah.
right? So that's is there's literally no new chips or anything. So it,
Yeah.
this new OLED Switch is literally just going to play the same games. Like you're not going to get a performance difference. Um,
Yeah.
Nintendo
It's
was
there is
very clear about that to
hmm.
who was it? It was The Verge reported on it, but I don't know who they said it to. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
confirms
I'm on the CNN's,
no new CPU or increased RAM,
mhm.
no
Yeah,
Bluetooth
it
head
has the
support,
exact same
headphone
processor, RAM,
support.
and general specs.
Okay, they confirmed it to The
Mm.
Verge. So yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, if
So
you
it's
mainly
it's
play in it's one of those you gotta really pay attention to how are you playing on your Switch? Like, these types of things going to actually be quality of life improvements for you, like they would be for me playing my Switch? Or is it really not that worth it for you because like you, Sean, you mostly play docked. Like I don't usually play docked.
I
I don't
mean,
even
so my argument
no, I do
is
know where my dock is, but
for most people that already have a mainline Switch, especially if it's a second generation one, where it's got the increased battery
yes.
life.
That's the other reason is I have a
You
first
can
gen
skip
Switch
out on
still
this
too.
one. So this is largely appeal um for people who are really interested in those improvements, for
Mhm. Like
collectors
me.
or for new adopters. And that's fine.
Yeah.
It just for most people that have one already, you can probably pass this one up, especially for the increased
Yeah.
cost. Um,
Again, it's just it's you gotta take a look at what is are these things truly worth it for you? As I said, I have a Gen 1 Switch still, and these improvements are big enough and important enough, at least for me, in thinking about my gameplay and my everything else, that I am extremely interested in this upgrade. But I know that that's not gonna be everybody, and but you just gotta take a look at how you're playing your Switch
yeah,
and is it really going worth the extra, um, to do it,
yeah.
basically.
My point is, I think for most people that own a Switch,
Yeah.
the answer is going to be no. Um,
Yep.
Especially if it means having to plunk down, because like if it's going to be people that don't want to get rid of their old Switch, um, that means
Yeah,
having to plunk
that's
down the
gonna
full
be
price.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so Also, no word on whether they fixed Joy Cons or not. So I mean, so that issue's still also out there.
I mean, class action lawsuit kinda I don't know what the, words
Status of that.
yes, thank you.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the status of that lawsuit is. Um, Also, it was weird because like it's in Europe, if I recall, it's not in the U.S. And
Okay.
I think it's
Um,
because the US has a no questions asked, send in your Joy-Cons, we'll repair them and send them back to you at no cost. And I think they didn't have that in Europe,
yeah.
and that was the issue. Based on what I saw on the Nintendo subreddit, where there's a lot of like UK users who it's like night and day with the complaints about customer service or the lack of complaints of customer service between like Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe. Um
Yeah.
it seems for once we might actually have better customer service in the United States.
But, that
um
being said, if you feel like the OLED is something that is going to be intriguing to you, that is something that you are interested in, you can pre-order it, um, at your local GameStop, and I'm not sure about Best Buy, but they will be available at Best Buy as well.
yeah. Here's the other thing.
Um
So you can get the dock separately. The dock is being sold separately as well.
oh,
Um
I hadn't seen that.
However, I think it's like the standard price for a dock. So if you really want that Ethernet adapter, instead of paying the 80-90 there you can like pay $20 for one, and it just connects to one of your USB slots
Nice. Oh,
for
that's
like an
good to
external
know.
Ethernet adapter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought about
Cool.
that, but I mean, the only game that I've played online is Monster Hunter, and I've had zero uh
Issue.
issues playing over the internet. Like I don't play Smash, I don't play
Yep.
Mario Kart online. To clarify, I do play Smash, but not online. Splatoon, it, there's not really much going on with Splatoon these days, so not an issue. So
Mhm.
yeah. But ultimately, I think uh the big thing is this will there might be a nice bundle to go with Metroid Dread. Um, and it seems like the color
There may
scheme is
be
designed
some
to match it a little bit. So there may be a bundle incoming with that. Or who knows, maybe
also,
maybe
there are bundle
Nintendo will pull a fast one and say like, "Oh, the $350 bundle includes Metroid Dread." And it's like, "Oh, well then it's
maybe.
totally worth it then."
Also, just so that everybody knows, there is the white Joy-Con one. There is also a red and blue Joy-Con system that will be releasing at the same on October 8th as well.
Yeah,
Um,
but why would you buy
so
that one?
if you like the red and blue, you can still keep your red and blue. I'm going white, but 'cause
Because here's the
stickers
thing:
to
every Switch
it.
owner, or practically every Switch owner, has a set of red and blue Joy Cons at this point. Unless you are a very recent adopter, because at launch your options were gray or red and blue.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
I got my red and blue. They sit on the edge of the bed just behind me on the corner of my bed,
So,
but they're
um,
there.
it's also
Because
theorized there
orange
may
just
be
brings me life.
since Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming out in November,
Oh
that there
yeah,
may
they might
be a
have.
special edition one for that then,
That
that they may
would
announce at a
make
later date.
sense.
I would believe that.
Mhm.
Um, what would have been nice
Yeah,
is
we
if,
got we got Let's Go EV.
yeah, it would be nice if they did a Zelda one to do something for the anniversary. Um, so, but we'll see.
Who knows?
I mean, here's the thing:
Yeah.
this is all just going to count as like regular Switch because it's all part of the same. Like when you look at the guts of the machine, it's all the same. Um,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. It's more external stuff. So, I do believe, speaking of Best Buy, where it is also sold, I do believe that those are order available for pre-order, but I'm not 100% sure. Check your local Best Buy.
Yeah.
Um,
Try and get them
Check your
before
local Best
scalpers
Buy,
do.
check your local GameStop. Yeah,
I mean, that's the other thing is I feel
like
like people are just not excited for consoles these days because like it's just assumed that you're not going to get one because
because of all the scalpers. Yeah,
it's just going to be bought by scalpers who are then going to charge like a 300% markup on it. So you're going to have to wait until
yeah,
the secondhand market comes around in order to find one. And I feel like that's going to be
yeah,
the
which
case.
is no fun.
Let's put it this way: if Nintendo decides to do a new iteration um, of the Switch or a successor console, is we're going to see this. Is there's going to be all sorts of
Mhm.
nonsense going on just because of the hype surrounding
Oh, yeah.
Switch Pro. Um, that yeah,
Mhm.
it's going to be a mess. But I don't know how to fix it. You know, uh,
I don't know either.
I mean, here would be the thing is you have a higher barrier to entry on, say, Amazon or Facebook Marketplace, so that it's not just any Joe Schmo can sell stuff on Amazon. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know either.
that gets into a whole another can of beans that I don't want to get into.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
finally
Yep.
mainstream markets are taking note of how many like knockoff shops are popping up on Amazon or have popped up on Amazon. So like it is nearly impossible to tell
Oh, have been on Amazon.
what is a legitimate company and what is not. So,
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our deep dive. A general consensus is, and this is going to be the show's title, is no pro for you. So,
Mhm.
but it'll be a nice side skew for people. Um,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of the like a lateral shift. I'm trying to think of there's some term that was used that perfectly describes that, but it's basically it's a lateral shift. Um, but for a lot of people, you know, such as wrong way, Courtney, that'll be really nice with some features for that. So, all right. With that,
Like, I
we
may
are
actually stop by GameStop tomorrow and
going
see if
to
I can put down
turn
a
our
pre-order.
attention to Questlog. So Questlog is where we talk about what sort of geeky stuff is on our to-do list uh, that we accomplished over the past week, and what sort of stuff is on our geeky to-do list to accomplish in the upcoming week.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been busy. I've been busy.
Okay. Well, I got two
So,
things
but
done.
Sean, why don't you say, yeah, Sean, why don't you go first this week?
I did not get a chance to work on the Hinterlands page for Jamora. I did do a comic and I did make a TikTok video. Although it was kind of a cop out, uh, since it was just my dog napping, and jumping very late onto
It
the
was
Adult Swim
adorable.
trend, which is you take some sort of like calm, relaxing image or scene. You put some sort of ambient music to the back of it, and you just add like Adult Swim or AS in brackets somewhere, and to make it look like an Adult Swim bumper. Um, so
Watch our
so that's up
stream
there.
ones are always really fun for me.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so it was kind of a lazy day, so just decided to make that. Goals for next week
Mm.
is number 1 to work on the Hinterlands page. Um and since I feel like it's time to make a video on TikTok for DM tips, and to talk about ability checks because this seems to be a thing that nobody perpetually ever understands. Um, and the basic gist of it is, in D&D 5th edition, is you do not have skill checks, is you have ability checks. An ability check is any check that you make where you roll a d20, you add an ability, and it is not an attack roll or a saving throw. That's the criteria. If you can add a relevant skill proficiency, you can add your proficiency bonus. Likewise, if you have a relevant tool proficiency, you can add your proficiency bonus. Note that you can only add your proficiency bonus once, unless you have a feature that, or no, it's you can only add your proficiency bonus once. Uh, there are features such as expertise that affect what your proficiency bonus is in certain scenarios. Um, but that is ultimately what ability checks are. This also means, and I think largely it stems from people coming from previous editions, and I think it's how the character sheet is laid out that it helps perpetuate this skill check mentality,
Mhm.
which is technically incorrect. So yeah, I'm gonna be making a video on that. I now have access to 3-minute videos, despite the fact that I have like no content or followers or anything. So I don't know what's going up with that, but
Hey,
I don't know. I feel like TikTok messed up on that one and went down yesterday. So we'll see. So it went down yesterday as of
hey,
the
we're
time
not
of
gonna we're
this
not gonna fight that.
recording. Yeah. The whole app went down. Everybody was in an uproar about it.
Interesting.
Like you'd go to click on your
Interesting.
videos and no videos would show up. You go to click on a video and say like, "Oh, it's got, all these comments. Let me check the comments." And then no comments would pop up and then it would say you have 0 comments. It would say you have 0 views, zero
Ah,
likes and everything, and it would do it at random times. Um, so yeah, it'd be like if
interesting.
Instagram went down or YouTube. I remember that happened once,
Facebook.
and there was like worldwide panic that YouTube went down, or when Facebook went down. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. As I say, all of them have gone down at certain points. So yeah. but but yes. Like some good stuff this upcoming week for you, Sean.
yeah,
So
it's stuff. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see what gets worked
So
on.
yeah. So I got so close to getting the gourmet achievement of cooking everything, cooking one of everything. And then I realized that I was missing some recipes. And these were the recipes not from watching Queen of Sauce, not from like buying them from uh the stores or anything. No, these were the ones from making friends. So I have to get uh I had to raise Jody and Evelyn to 7 hearts in Stardew Valley, which I did. I still have to raise Caroline, Kent, Sandy, and Leo, who is the new one from Ginger Island, all to 7 hearts. Um, so I have 5 recipes to go. Uh, and it's just making friends now. And I've got my list of what I need to get from them, of who loves what. This is going to be a pain in the butt because the things that he loves are fiddlehead risotto and roasted hazelnuts. The man, I have to cook for the man.
I
um,
mean, you could
he
just
else
Courtney, just give the man spaghetti or pizza. Like, you won't love it,
I was gonna
but he'll
say,
like it.
that's the thing. Like Joe was saying, just give him mayonnaise. Everyone loves mayonnaise, and I'm like, everybody likes mayonnaise, but I want to try and do this good. I want to get to what they love. So I also got bored at work and wrote out every single recipe and everything that goes into each of those recipes. So if I'm ever wanting to cook something and been like, okay, well, where do I, okay, right there. Because it's easier for me to do it in a spreadsheet than
Oh
it is
boy.
for me to
I mean,
look.
here's the thing though, is so let's put it this way, Courtney. Are you currently in summer or fall?
It's currently in summer.
Okay, all right. So you would be able to make fiddlehead risotto because since those are both seasonal specific things.
Yes.
And you also
Yes,
have to
they
forage
are.
for you also
Um,
have to yeah, you have to forage for each of them. So, yeah,
I do.
just buy them a pizza. Buy them pizza. So much easier. Also,
Yeah.
you're swimming in
I
money.
mean
Listen here,
I only need
Scrooge
one
McDuck.
I
Spend the money, buy the pizza.
swimming in money in this I'm not swimming in money in this farm. I don't have any of the obelisks or anything, which is why it's making it difficult to get Sandy and Leo to full hearts or to 7 hearts because I have to go like take time to go to the island instead of just bam I'm there. Billion for each of those obelisks
Still, just
or
buy them
to
spaghetti.
the island and to the desert.
Just buy everybody
No,
spaghetti, and
actually, I've got Sandy is really
because
easy. It's
it'll save
everybody
you
else
so much time,
mango trees.
and time is money. So
Mango
therefore, it
trees,
actually saves you money. For the listeners at home, I am doing
oh no, I lost you.
the tapping your forehead meme of this is a good idea. You spend the money to save you time, which then saves you money. So you spend the money to save you the money. Courtney's Discord dropped, so she can't argue against it. It's a perfect plan. It's perfect. There are no flaws in this plan. Also, spaghetti's a lot cheaper than pizza.
No,
So there you go.
everything else is forageable. Like I have mango trees. So I just give Leo mangoes. Sandy loves all the flowers that are forage, so I've just stockpiled a bunch of those. Caroline loves uh uh where'd it go? The summer spangles. So I just
Wizards.
grew like 50 of those to her. Yeah. And then Kent, yeah, Kent I may take a little bit longer to be able to get the super meal recipe from him, but that is my plan to get those final 5 recipes, get those final 5 those final 4 people up to 7 hearts, and I'll be able to have finished that. And I am slowly uh gaining a large amount of ostriches. I have
Courtney, I'm going
4
to pose a challenge
now.
to you. Is that
Hmm?
you got to get them to 7 hearts before I get them to 7 hearts on Stardew Sundays.
Hmm.
Think you can do that? Because I got
See,
news for you. It's
you
wintertime and I'm running out of plenty of things. I am running out of all sorts of things to do. And
I mean,
I don't even
we'll
have
see.
access to Sandy, Kent, and Leo yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go.
But
That's
yeah,
my challenge to you.
yep, I'll be getting those 3 up, and then I'll have gotten everything, and I'll be able to do that. I also have blue chickens now.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, and I found out that, you can want only blue chickens when you go to Marnie to buy them, buy chickens, you can just do the going in and saying, like, where do you want, pick a coop for your new bl brown, white, blue chicken. Like, you can keep backing out of that until you get blue,
Yep.
once you do Shane's event. So, I've just been backing out, and I'm naming them all blue, different languages. So, and my first one was called Lapis, though.
The correct name is Kojiro, who is the blue chicken from Ocarina of Time.
I mean, that can be my next one. I am comfortable with having 6 dinosaurs, and 6 blue chickens. So, I get eggs.
Void
So,
chicken. Must have void chicken.
I'm not marrying Sebastian in this one, I don't need a void chicken.
You don't have to marry Sebastian.
No, but Sebastian loves void
Oh,
mayo
of
or
course he
void
does.
eggs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
void
he loves
void mayo
void eggs or
sells for
void
more than
mayo,
regular
one of the
mayo.
2. Hmm?
Void mayo sells for more than regular mayo.
It does. You know what also sells for more than regular mayo? Dino mayo.
Okay.
Dino mayo sells for a lot.
But the dinosaurs aren't angy chickens. So there you go. All right. I think at this point we've kind of run this
I think
topic
that
out.
yes. But yes, so
So
that's my plan. But yes, that's my plan. So long as the weather doesn't try and just kill my head and want it to rip open.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. That is going to wrap up this week's episode. Thank you all for joining us here on the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. If you would like to see more content from 8-Bit Adventures, you can head on over to 8-bitadventures.com. I'll post that link in the chat since I don't have a command for it. Over there, you can find comics, artwork, stream VODs, and more. If you would like to help support all of that content, you can become a patron at patreon.com/8bitadventures. Or you can subscribe right here on Twitch. Still kind of looking for more subscribers to unlock more emotes, because everybody loves emotes. And a big shout out and thank you to all of our current patrons. Thank you for keeping the lights on.
Woot woot.
Our opening theme is One Up by Professor Shy Guy. You can find his work over at professorshyguy.bandcamp.com. And with that, we have another episode in the bag. So, I say
Yeah.
to you, dear listener, as always, have fun, happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake.
Everybody.